everyone, I'm Katie from Sort of Spiritual, and I've met so many people that are new to human design recently, and I wanted to make a video for you to just show you where to start off with. There are so many layers of human design, there's so much to learn with human design, but really with human design, everything just comes back to living your strategy and authority. And everything else is just like fun to know and important, but I mean, if you just live your strategy, authority, you'll be good. You'll be aligned. Everything will work out. So I want to go over that today and give you kind of a rundown of what human design is, how to find out what your type is, and we'll go over just like skimming the surface on the different types, the strategies and authorities for them. And I'll be making more videos in the future that go in depth. Human design is a system to help you know yourself. Just like astrology, or if you take a personality test like Myers-Briggs, it gives you information about who you were designed to be in your highest expression. Human design is based off of systems like astrology, the Hindu chakra system, an ancient Chinese system called the I Ching, Kabbalah, as well as modern systems like quantum physics. Your human design chart, also called a bodygraph, is based off of your birth time, date, and location. And if you're not sure of your exact birth time, I definitely recommend you trying to find it out. But if you don't know, I have a highlight on my Instagram at Sort of Spiritual called Birth Time. And I will go through there what my steps are if I don't know what the exact birth time is to help you figure it out as close as possible if you can. I truly believe that all we really want is to be ourselves. And I love human design because it really is a system that helps us get back to that. Brene Brown, who is in no way related to human design, she talks about the difference between fitting in and belonging, where when you are fitting in, you like give up parts of yourself in order to fit in, whereas belonging, it's like you belong as yourself completely and you're accepted for who you are. And I like to think that human design is a good tool to get you to a place of belonging, where you're really comfortable with who you are and knowing who you are, and you're in the right places with the right people to allow yourself to belong for who you are and who you're designed to be. Human design can show you who you are designed to be and how you interact with the world on an energetic level. I like to kind of think of it as like the Google Maps for finding your alignment and like coming back to your true self. When we're aligned with our design, things flow, synchronicities happen, and we're in the right place at the right time with the right people for life to just like unfold as it's meant to for us. So it's really about becoming the best version of yourself instead of what society has conditioned us to be, or maybe our family or friends or work. It's really important to note that everyone is designed perfectly. There's no mistakes, there's no wrong types or charts or designs. There are challenges in the chart, or conundrums as my teacher calls them, and that's okay, because imagine if you're playing a video game and like every single time you play this video game, you know, you like get all the coins and like miss all the obstacles. You probably wouldn't keep playing the video game because it'd be really boring. And so life and human design is kind of like that. You know, there's always going to be challenges and things to overcome. Human design will help you do that with the path of least resistance. So to get started with human design, you need to get your bodygraph. The easiest place to go is probably Jovian Archive. So you can go to Jovian Archive, I think it's .com/free chart. I'll put the link somewhere. And you don't need to even enter your email. You just enter in your birth time, date, location, and it'll pop up a chart for you. I used to use mybodygraph.com. I've used that for a long time, and I've heard that the most accurate is Genetic Matrix, which is what I actually use now. So I like my bodygraph and Genetic Matrix because you have an account and you can like add other charts to it, because generally when you get into human design, you want to start looking up like your best friend and your mom and your dad and your, you know, partner and whatever. Celebrities, who knows? So I like that you can keep them all in there. It's free to use. There's paid upgrades in both of them, but the basic level, you can get what you need. So I like those ones because you're probably going to want to refer back to your chart, and it's easier to do that than just having to generate a chart every single time. So whatever you choose, enter your birth time, date, location, and voila, you have your chart. The first thing that you'll want to check is your energy type. The next is your strategy, and the third is your authority. So your energy type in human design is kind of like your zodiac sign in astrology, where when people are like, what's your sign? In human design, it's like, what's your type? There are 4 to 5 types in human design, depending on sort of what school of thought you're in. There's manifestors, generators, projectors, and reflectors. And there's also a hybrid type manifesting generator. So some people think that the manifesting generator is just a generator type with a bit of a difference. And some people think of it as its own energy type. I'm going to talk about it as if it's its own energy type. I'll be making more videos in the future that go in depth into the energy types as well as your strategy and authority. So make sure you subscribe to my channel. I would really appreciate it. And click the bell and you'll get notified so you'll know when you have more info on your energy type, strategy, authority, all of that. Okay, so manifestors make up about 9% of the population, and they're the energy type that's really here to start things, initiate things, get things moving, start movements. Their strategy is to initiate, and they're really the only energy type that's meant to get things started without some sort of external sign from the universe first. The whole point of informing for manifestors is to clear resistance for their path going forward. So they need to let people know who are going to be impacted by their actions before they take action. And I want to be clear that it's informing and not asking. They're not asking for permission, they're informing. Manifestors have a closed and repelling aura, which I like to joke is that we have like resting bitch aura. That's not actually the case. But the manifestor aura is really meant to repel the people that aren't meant for them, so there's space for the people that are meant to be a part of their movement and to be part of their initiated action. Generators make up about 35% of the population, and they're really here to find and do the right work. They've been gifted with this like sustainable life force energy through their sacral center, and they're meant to use that energy through their work. And by work, I mean really anything that uses their energy. It can be, raising a family. It can be philanthropic work. It can be some sort of a job that feels right to you. But it's really about finding the right work and making that contribution. The generator's strategy is to respond, and I like to think of it as the universe has asked the generator to dance. So the universe takes a step and the generator gets to respond, and the universe takes a step and the generator gets to respond. So it's this like constant back and forth between the generator and the universe always takes the first step. I think that's so amazing and magical because it's whatever the generator is going to be doing, it's like the universe has already taken a step to lead them and they just need to respond. Generators have an enveloping aura that's meant to like pull in and attract everything that they need to respond to. Manifesting generators are also about 35% of the population, give or take a couple percent, and they're a combination of generators and manifestors. Like generators, they've also been gifted with that sustainable life force energy and are also here to do the right work, but they're multi-passionate. So they're really meant to be doing like a bunch of things at one time. And that's how they best use their energy. When they're doing things that lights them up, even if it's multiple projects, or especially when it's multiple projects, they're actually gonna have more access to their energy and alignment. Their strategy is to respond, then inform. So just like a generator, they're in a dance with the universe also. The universe is always taking their first step, and then they need to inform the people that are going to be impacted by their actions of what they're doing. Manifesting generators tend to move really quickly, so it's important for them to slow down for a minute and kind of visualize the outcome of their decision and how things are going to play out. Because they have so much energy and can work on so many different projects, it's really easy to get like 5 steps down the line of something and then realize they don't actually want to be doing it. So it's helpful to take the time before you start to actually like visualize where this is going before you dive in. Projectors are about 20% of the population, and they are really here to be our guides, our gurus, our directors, our managers. They have a penetrating aura, so it's like they can like get in you and really know you. Their strategy is to wait for the invitation. And as a projector, it's really important to be recognized and have an invitation given to you as opposed to you initiating things. When projectors initiate, they can really burn themselves out quite quickly. But when they have the invitations, that's like the universe, again, handing them that invitation that they get to decide if it's the right one or not for them. And I want to note that this is for the big things. They don't need invitations to like do laundry or go get groceries. Lastly, we have reflectors, and they are the 1% of the population. They are literally here to reflect back to us the health and well-being of our communities. Reflectors are completely open. They don't give off any of their own energy. They just receive energy and amplify it. And they're actually meant to wait an entire lunar cycle, which is about 28 days, to make major decisions. Okay, so those are the 5 energy types. Okay, so now we're going to do an overview of each authority. I'm going to go into more details of these in the future, so make sure you subscribe and check back to see when I mention your authority. Your authority is really your guide in human design. It's like your GPS that tells you if you're on the right path or not. Following your authority is what puts you in the right place at the right time for everything to fold out as it's meant to. In human design, we say the decisions are not meant to come from the head. So it's not about making pro and con lists or using logic. It's really about using your own inner authority to come to the right decisions for yourself. I know, especially in Western culture, this can be challenging to say like, oh, it's a gut decision, or it's like, I just know that it's the right decision for me, when you don't necessarily have the logic or evidence to support it. So as I said earlier, human design is a system that's all about experimentation. So take these systems and experiment. Look back and see with your authority, where have you made decisions using this authority before? Because it's probably a little bit natural to you anyways. And where have you ignored your authority, and how did those decisions turn out? Additionally, moving forward, pay attention when you're making decisions. Are you going to listen to your authority? And if so, how did that work out? And if you didn't, how did that work out? It's just something for you to notice and learn from as you continue on this human design experiment. The three most common authorities in human design are emotional, sacral, and splenic. So 50% of the population actually has an emotional authority. It's also called a solar plexus authority, but it's our center for emotion. And so the idea is that emotional authorities are not meant to make spontaneous decisions. You have this emotional wave that like goes up and down and up and down, and there's different waves depending on the quality. But the idea is that you want to be able to ride out your wave before you make a decision. And sometimes our waves are going to be more extreme up and down, and sometimes they're going to be slower and they're not going to undulate too much. The best sort of advice for an emotional authority is to at the very least sleep on it, and to not make decisions from like really high emotional states or really low emotional states. You want to have some sort of emotional clarity and like evenness before you're making these decisions. Sacral authority. This is your gut response. It comes from your sacral center, and it is only something that a generator or manifesting generator will have if they don't have an emotional authority. And this is a fast, kind of instantaneous response. It's a yes or no answer, and it usually comes in the form of like an uh-huh or uh-uh. So like sounds as opposed to actual words. Splenic authority. This is all about knowing and intuition. And again, it's not something that really makes sense in terms of logic and figuring things out, but it's just this like internal knowing that something is right or not. It's usually instantaneous, and experiment with that if this is your authority of when you get these like hits of knowing. Self-projected authority. It's really important for you to listen to what you say. So talking this over with someone that you trust, that you can be open with, is going to be really helpful. And it's not about asking them for advice. It's actually about you being able to listen to your own words and coming to clarity that way. Environmental or mental authority. Sometimes this is also called outer authority. With this authority, you receive guidance from the environment that you're in. So your actual environment is really important when you're making decisions, to be in a place that feels good. Similarly, it's helpful to talk it out with people that you trust and to use them as a sounding board so you can really like hear your own words on the decision. Ego manifested authority. This is really about following your heart and knowing if something is right for you through your voice. So it's important for you to listen to what you say versus what your thoughts are thinking. It's also a matter of whether you have like the will or energy to do what this decision entails. Ego projected authority. This is about being selfish in the best way. So it's asking, what will I get from this, and what's the benefit for me? And also whether you have the willpower or the energy to do what's being decided. Lastly, we have the lunar authority for our reflectors. It's important for you to talk out your decision to your trusted inner circle, who can then reflect it back to you throughout the lunar cycle. Having an environment that feels right and a trusted inner circle is really important for reflectors. And in these right places with the right people, they can come to a sense of knowing about their decisions. So that's it for your energy type, strategy, and authority. These are really the three main components of human design, and technically all you really need to know, although I will go into further detail just to help you understand these in future videos. But if you're able to just follow these and use your strategy and authority, you will be aligned with your design. In order to help you, I've actually created a free hypnosis, which is one of my favorite ways to relax, to help you follow your own strategy and authority. I'm gonna link it in the comment section below, and you can download it and listen to it there. I'd love to know what you find out about your strategy and authority, and if it's something that you've been experimenting with for a while, let me know how it shows up for you.